this is not a sponsored video. Gear review! Ow, fuck! I'm about 3 years late to the drone party. Yay! I borrowed a DJI Phantom 3 Pro for a week, and here's what I thought of it. In 2019. Sorry, that's a little bit of clickbait there. But we're gonna answer the question, is it worth buying a drone that's no longer in production? To me, the earlier DJI Phantom series seemed like the drones that really started the boom in the prosumer models that we see today. And before we get too far with this, yes, I am FAA certified, so you don't have to worry. I always fly very responsibly. Chris, if you're watching this, I didn't do stupid things with your drone. Those are, CGI, yeah, it's all CGI. It's part of the Sweetlu Extended Cinematic Universe, or SLECU, the SLECU. Anyway, enough chit-chat. How does the footage look? In the right situations, the footage can be magical. I happen to have spent a bunch of time in Hawaii recently, so I feel like I could have taken that potato camera I made, thrown that at the sky, and still have gotten good images. But you know, let's be real here, the Phantom 3 Pro keeps up. Alright, it's probably better than the potato. The footage is crisp and it's sharp. The image quality is good and the colors are pretty nice. There is room for improvement in color grading, but the colors straight out of camera are nice. On the other hand though, low light is really where the Phantom 3 Pro struggles. Flying a little after golden hour can show just how poorly the Phantom 3 Pro can hang in lower light situations. The good news is, you're not supposed to fly in the dark anyway, so it kinda sorts itself out, I guess, right? But the noise is a problem for me. It's pretty dirty, especially by 2019 standards. All in all though, I think the footage looks pretty good, especially if you're just watching it and you're not going crazy pixel peeping it. And honestly, it's even more true if you're uploading it to a site like YouTube where your video is going to get crunched again anyway. The photos look good, but to my eye they're almost a little bit softer than the video. That might just be from the little micro jitters of the drone from just, you know, idling in the sky, but either way, they look nice, they have enough detail, and if you're shooting raw, they're very editable. The Phantom 3 Pro comes with a controller. The sticks are responsive and flicky. I like them. They also have this grippy material on them. It's quite tactile. I couldn't imagine flying a drone with virtual sticks on a phone or a tablet. In a weird way, it kind of feels like I'm driving the Warthog from Halo. The left stick controls the lift and rotation, the right accelerates you in whatever direction you aim at. So it is kind of like the first Halo. Regarding the monitor, however, I'm not really a fan of mounting a tablet or a large phone onto the arm. The arm just feels a bit flimsy, and honestly, in bright sunlight, it becomes really difficult to see most typical phone and tablet screens. Unless, of course, you have the latest and greatest, which if you're watching this video about a 3-year-old drone, you might not have the latest and greatest phone. I'm not judging you. Connecting the drone is simple. The app works well enough. All the functions you need are right at your fingertips, and you can even customize some of the buttons. The drone itself feels quite responsive, and it's surprisingly fast. If you nail the sticks, your drone's gonna tear ass. I have experienced drift, however, especially on takeoff. In this shot here, if we watch, I hit the takeoff button and I don't touch the sticks at all. It shoots up and then it dips to the right, which caused it to flip. Granted, I was surrounded by metal, which may have been throwing off the compass, but the drift there was undeniable. I will say though, once you're in the air, I don't find the drift to be a problem. I don't feel like I'm constantly fighting it to go where I want it to go. It's good once it's moving. The Phantom 3 Pro can shoot 4K with a maximum video bitrate of 60 megabits per second, and it can film MP4s and MOVs. You have various frame sizes and frame rates, which are all on screen now. The headline is there's no 4K 60, which is a bit of a bummer. The ability to slow things down would likely help make your footage look even smoother, but oh well, what can you do? In photo mode, you can shoot JPEGs and raw DNGs. And remember, the Phantom 3 Pro only uses micro SD cards, so make sure you get a fast enough card to handle those thick-ass 4K video files. The drone has a 3-axis gimbal, but if you're getting into gusty winds, you can expect a little bit of wiggle in your footage. One of the biggest problems with the drone, in my opinion, is the battery life. The batteries tend to last between 20 and 23 minutes. This really does depend on how hard you push the Phantom, how windy it is, stuff like that. Another issue I've noticed is that depending on how fast you're flying, you might end up catching bits of the drone in the shot. For example, I flew downward on this weird angle and I caught the legs in the shot. Sometimes you can see the propellers. It's not the end of the world. You can crop around it, you can put an aspect ratio overlay, but to me, it is a design flaw. All that said, the Phantom 3 Pro is still a formidable drone in 2019, especially if you can find one for around the $300 to $400 range on Craigslist or eBay. You gotta get lucky to get the prices down that low, but if you do, that's a steal. Here's the thing, you're paying for a camera that flies. Inevitably, bad things will happen. So maybe it's a good idea for you to get your wings on a cheaper drone before buying the latest and greatest. It's just like your first beater car. You get your experience driving and then you move up. Does a drone have a 40 megapixel sensor or a zoom lens? No. Does it have all these crazy sensors that helps you never crash? No. But does it fly? You better believe it. It'll help take your video and photo game to new heights. Get it? Heights? Because it's a drone and it flies? That's why I said new heights. Well, technically it'll only take you to roughly 400 feet because that's legally how high you're supposed to go. Unless you're surveying a building, then it's 400 feet above the highest point of the building. Yeah. I like the DJI Phantom 3 Pro. It's reliable, it's good enough quality, and it's easy enough to use. If you end up getting this as your first drone, you'd likely be pretty satisfied. And I'm giving the Phantom 3 Pro 7 Owen Wilson wows out of 10.
Wow, this is a nice drone.
And always remember to fly responsibly. I've seen enough of these news articles. I don't want to see any of the Sweet Squad in the photo news websites for cutting someone's head off with a Mavic or something. Anyway guys, crush it out there. I'll see you next week. Make sure you subscribe and hit that like and do something to the bell. Find me on MySpace, Instagram, Discord, all that fun stuff. And I'll talk to you soon. Anyway, enough chit chat. How? I mean, let's be hard to handle. God, dude. Inevitably, does the drone have a 40 megapixel sensor or a zoom lens? Does the drone have a 40 megapixel sensor or a Let's just jump into it, guys.